The holidays can be a challenging time to deal with poor dog behavior, especially when your dog likes to steal items and then shows aggression when you try to take them back. That's why we're bringing in the expert certified dog behavior consultant, Emily Scott, with some tips on how to handle our cute little dogs. She saw herself in the monitor.
Oh, did she?
I think so, and that's why she's looking around.
Yeah.
Emily, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I had a great Christmas.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Who's this little gal?
This is little Tabitha.
And
Tabitha,
she's too cute to be feisty and aggressive.
No, she's not feisty. She's perfect. She's a 5-year-old rescue Yorkshire Terrier, and she's just a great little pup. But I thought she would be a great breed to talk about the issue of resource guarding, which is basically a technical term for dogs that like to steal or have items, and then they try to protect or guard those items when they get a hold of them.
I didn't know there was an official name for that.
Yeah, it's called resource guarding.
Wow.
And a resource, interestingly enough, can be food. That's the most common thing that people know. They can guard toys. They actually can guard space, like a bed or a couch or a dog bed. And they can guard people. Guarding people is a really big, common issue. So, for example, the dog is sitting on the wife's lap, and the husband comes over to give the wife a kiss, and the dog attacks the husband.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah,
but is it a sign of love?
No, it's not about love. It's about possession. It's about ownership. So it's a normal, perfectly normal dog behavior. All dogs, just like humans, we like to guard things. We have locks on our house, and we have a bank account, that's safely guarded. And dogs like to guard things too. They naturally, if they have something, they don't want to give it up, they're going to let you know. So the most common way a dog will let you know they don't want to give up something is they'll turn their head away, or they'll try to hover over the item and say, go away. If you ignore that and you keep coming, you may get a growl, you may get what I call a pucker, where they'll show their teeth.
Yes.
And then the last step is you're going to get a snap or even a bite.
And what do you do at that point?
Well, at that point, what most people do, which is the big mistake, is to have a power play. It's like, oh, no, you don't, that's mine. And then you go in for it, and then it becomes this power struggle. And what you have to understand is that the more assertive and angry and upset you get with the dog, you're making yourself more of a threat to their resource, right? So my philosophy of dealing with resource guarders is, number one, to help them understand humans control resources, not you. And if you allow me to share this resource, you can have it. And if you give it up, you can have it back. And if you give it to me, you get something better. And so I do a lot of patterning and repetition to teach them that I'm not a threat to your resource. If I see it and you let me have it, you can have it back and you can have something better.
Is that what you did with this little dog here, Winston? Is that what's going on here?
Yes. So Winston was presented to me as a dog who was a pretty severe guarder of chew items, in particular bully sticks. And there I'm using a rubber hand so I wouldn't get bit. But he was pretty assertive.
I thought your arm looked weird.
Exactly. No, I'm not about to get my own self bit. But so what we did, this is just the initial assessment where he demonstrated he was not willing to give up the resource. See the pucker, he's showing his teeth, and then he snaps when I got too close. So basically what we taught him to do is, when I approached, I would give him lots of tasty treats when I approached him with an item. So he learned that when I approached, I wasn't a threat. In fact, I had something better to offer him. And then the second step was to teach him, if you drop that and let me have it, you can have the item and you can have the stick back. And he's no longer a guarder. He's doing great.
Really?
He allows you to take anything from him.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But the owners were doing the opposite. They were trying to do this power struggle where they'd roll him and they'd punish him and they'd put him in a crate and they'd do all these things, and then the dog was just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, copying their personality a little bit, I bet. So is it true that sometimes little dogs like Tabitha here are, or can be, a little bit more protective than the bigger dogs?
Particularly if they're humans, right? Because the little dogs are always on laps. And so they very quickly figure out, hey, I'm up high and this is my mom because I'm sitting on her lap. And so they'll get very guardy or protective of the owner. So it is pretty common for the little guys, but I see it in every breed.
So should you not approach them by putting your hand out, or what should you do?
Well, you want to be very careful with any dog you don't know. If you approach them, especially if they have an item or they're sitting in a space where they feel like they have they're in charge, there is a risk that they could bite. So I'm always looking for the body language. So a body language of a dog that doesn't want you to come closer, they turn their head away.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
they're going to say, no, you don't come closer, right? Whereas the dog who wants you to come in and get a pet will kind of come towards you. So if you see a dog turning his head away or they do a hard stare, you be careful.
Stay away.
Especially for children.
Wow.
Children
Yes.
really need to be educated that if you reach and you see a dog turning its eyes, whites of his eyes, you don't go near that dog. Or the risk of being bit is very high.
Well, that's a great tip for parents out there to hear right now. So thank you so very much for being here. Tabitha, you did so great. She is so darn cute.
She's adorable.
So darn cute. So thank you for bringing her. And no, she's not up for adoption, everybody. Because I know that at home they're thinking, is she up for adoption? No, she's got her mom and dad at home. Anyway, thank you so much. And if you have any questions or want Emily's help, just give her a call or find her on social media and her website. All over the place. She'd love to help you and your puppies. Thanks again.
Thank you,
All
Alex.
right. Happy New Year.
Okay, same to you.
Don't go anywhere, folks. Imagine a place where your kids can go on an adventure.